In this dead land, in days of yore, God moved in mighty power. His word he blessed, and souls found rest, when Scotland was on fire. Once more, Lord, once more, as in the days of yore, on this dear land thy spirit pour, set Scotland now on fire.
Scotland has had an incredible history of the touch of God. There have been missionaries, powerful preachers of the gospel raised up, even or preached in this particular hall. Missionaries have gone all over the world, and there was something at one time that was so attractive in the house of God. Yet our brother David says tonight that the spiritual life is at a low ebb in this country.
Scotland has a rich spiritual history. The people of Scotland have witnessed great visitations of God, but right now it is fighting for its spiritual future. In Inverclyde, where the city of Greenock is, alcoholism, drug addiction, violence, depression, and suicide rates are among the highest in the UK.
Can I ask you a couple of questions? What's your name?
Anne Buckham.
Anne Buckham. Right, I've got a couple of questions to ask you. The first question is, what do you think the problems with Greenock are? What do you think Greenock's problems are?
Drugs.
Okay.
And drink.
Greenock's got massive problems with drugs and alcohol.
The problems for Greenock are exactly the same problems as there are everywhere else in the world. There is drug addiction, there is alcoholism, there are people who are depressed, people who are dying, who don't know Jesus.
There's a lot of people out of work as well. That leads to despondency. I think that really leads on to drugs, etc., etc.
But a remnant church in Inverclyde is believing God for spiritual renewal. After speaking at a revival conference in Greenock, God gave Pastor Carter Conlon a burden to return with a team from Times Square Church to encourage the local churches not to give up in the face of overwhelming problems. A team of over 200 traveled with Pastor Carter to Greenock for 10 days of outreaches and evangelistic meetings. During the meetings, Pastor Carter called on the church to rise up and be ready with the heart of the Father to welcome the sons and daughters coming home.
In the church in Greenock, you are going to have to make a decision. Sons and daughters are coming home. You can join the party or you can stay outside.
During the day, over a dozen outreach teams fanned out across Greenock. The business team reached out to local businessmen and women.
How much we love you and how much we care about you, and we're so grateful to be here.
God opened the doors of several nursing homes, allowing various teams to visit with seniors. Many gave their lives to the Lord.
What God can do.
An information center was set up at a local mall alongside the healing rooms, a local ministry that also hosted one of our teams. The info center drew people in, and many were prayed for in the healing rooms. Outreach and choir teams shared their testimonies at various places in Greenock. They also went door to door to share the gospel and tell them about the evening services at the Greenock Town Hall. Generally, the schools are locked tight to ministry, but God gave miraculous favor, and our teams were able to visit various schools in the area and minister to them through sports, music, drama, and life issues. The teams were amazed at how open the students were to the gospel. Many were asked to come back for second and third visits. One team focused particularly on primary schools. The drama team traveled to many of the venues, using skits to reach out to those struggling with various addictions. The Haven, a residential program to help young men overcome addictions, hosted one of our teams to help them build a new addition to their compound. Once completed, it will allow more men to get free from drugs and experience God's love. Men in the program spend their morning in worship. They are grateful to get their lives back and give them to God. A pastor's conference and women's gathering were also held to encourage those in ministry and leadership.
Greenock needs to hear this story, what Christ can do in women who can astonish a community.
But at the end of each day, the main focus was the services at the Greenock Town Hall.
As he prepares our hearts for what he wants to do this week.
God spoke powerfully through Pastor Carter to the church and to the young people of Inverclyde and Greenock.
Scotland, rise to the occasion. Church of Jesus Christ, rise to the occasion. The hour is dark. Yes, it is dark. But Christ is still the light of the world. The power of evil still roams our streets. But the power of God is greater. Enough death to our children. Enough dying in our streets. Enough violence and drugs and poverty. It's time for the church to rise.